Today they are in Rome. You are standing at the heart of an empire, a city where millions live, and history is written every day. If you enjoy exploring lost cities, like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to step into history for more. Enjoy the video.
Picture this. The year is 113 AD. Rome has just reached 1.2 million people, the largest city on Earth. Emperor Trajan rules an empire stretching from Scotland to the Sahara. But what was it actually like to spend a single day here? Not as an emperor or a senator, but as an ordinary person navigating the world's first megacity. Using AI technology trained on archaeological evidence and historical records, we've reconstructed what 24 hours in ancient Rome actually looked like. No highlights reel, no, just the monuments. We're talking about the real city, the crowds, the noise, the smells, the danger. From dawn to midnight, this is what life was actually like in ancient Rome. Let's step back 2,000 years. Dawn. The sun hasn't risen yet, but Rome is already moving. You're in an insula, a 5-story apartment building in the Subura district. This is Rome's most crowded neighborhood. Probably 50,000 people packed into a few city blocks. Your single room is on the 4th floor. No running water up here, no windows, no kitchen, just a wooden bed frame, a straw mattress, and maybe a clay lamp if you can afford the oil. The building quakes and groans. Fires break out in these insula constantly. Collapses aren't uncommon either. Emperor Augustus eventually passed laws limiting building heights to 70 feet, but landlords ignore them. You head down narrow wooden stairs. The stairwell reeks of urine because there's no toilet up there. Chamber pots get emptied out windows into the street below. If you're unlucky, you get hit. Outside, the city is already loud. Merchants setting up stalls, delivery carts rattling over cobblestones. These carts are only allowed in the city at night to reduce traffic. So Rome never actually sleeps. You can hear the noise all night long. Morning. First stop, the public baths. Not to get clean necessarily, that's part of it, but the baths are where Romans start their day. This is the Baths of Trajan, covering 11 hectares right in the center of the city. Entry costs almost nothing. A quadrans, the smallest coin in circulation. Everyone comes here. Slaves, shopkeepers, even senators before they head to the forum. You pay your coin, leave your clothes with an attendant, hopefully he doesn't steal them, and enter. First, the gymnasium. Romans exercise naked, wrestling, lifting weights, playing ball games. Then you move through a series of heated rooms. The tepidarium warm, the calarium hot, so hot you can barely breathe. Slaves keep furnaces burning beneath the floors. The whole system runs on radiant heat. Finally, the frigidarium, a cold plunge pool. The shock to your system is the point. Romans believed this routine purified the body and sharpened the mind. While you're here, you might get a shave, a massage, maybe some food from a vendor. You'll definitely hear gossip. Who's sleeping with whom? Which senator got caught taking bribes? The baths aren't just about bathing. They're about being Roman. Mid-morning, the Forum. By mid-morning, you're heading toward the Roman Forum. This is the heart of everything. Politics, religion, commerce, all compressed into one plaza. The noise is overwhelming. Lawyers shouting their cases, politicians giving speeches, hawkers selling everything from honey cakes to stolen jewelry. You're here because you need to witness a contract signing. Romans don't have notaries. Contracts require witnesses, usually 7 of them, all free citizens. You stand in front of the Basilica Aulia while 2 merchants finalize a grain deal. This basilica is massive, 300 feet long, 3 stories high. Inside, 4 separate court cases are happening simultaneously. Lawyers are screaming over each other. Crowds are cheering or jeering depending on which side they support. Roman trials are public entertainment. After the contract is signed, you've got time to kill. You walk past the Temple of Saturn, where Rome's treasury is kept. Past the Rostra, where minutes. Politicians compete for attention. Mark Antony gave his funeral speech for Julius Caesar right there, 150 years ago. That speech started a civil war. Midday, Trajan's market. By noon, you're hungry. You head to Trajan's market, built into the side of Coronal Hill. This is ancient Rome's shopping mall. Over 150 shops spread across 6 levels. The ground floor is chaos. Fish from Ostia, the port city 15 miles away. Spices from India and Egypt. Wine from Greece. Olive oil from Spain. Everything the empire produces, you can buy it here. You grab lunch from a thermopolium, a fast food counter built right into the street. Hot food served from clay pots set into a marble counter. Maybe some stew, maybe sausage, definitely bread. Romans eat a lot of bread. The city consumes about 400,000 tons of grain every year. Most of it comes from Egypt, shipped across the Mediterranean, then up the Tiber River. If those grain shipments ever stop, Rome starves, which is why emperors give out free grain to about 200,000 citizens. Keep the people fed, keep the people quiet. Afternoon, the Colosseum. After lunch, you head to the Colosseum. Today's game started at dawn with animal hunts. By afternoon, it's time for the main event, gladiators. The Colosseum holds 50,000 people, and it's packed. The crowd is sorted by social class. Senators in the front rows, equestrians behind them, common citizens in the upper levels, women and slaves in the very top. Standing room only. You're somewhere in the middle. The gladiators enter through tunnels beneath the arena floor. These aren't random criminals. Most are trained professionals who've been preparing for this fight for months. Some are slaves, some are freedmen, a few are volunteers who signed contracts for the money and fame. Successful gladiators become incredibly wealthy. They're also celebrities. Women write love letters to them. Children collect figurines of their favorites. The fight begins. One gladiator is a mamilo, heavily armored with a large shield and sword. His opponent is a retiarius, nearly naked, armed with a net and trident. It's over in minutes. The retiarius is down, bleeding from a shoulder wound. The crowd decides his fate. Thumbs up means mercy. Thumbs down means death. Today, they're generous. He lives. The next fight starts immediately. Early evening, dinner. By late afternoon, you're heading home. If you're wealthy, you'd go to your doys, your private house with a garden courtyard and dining room for entertaining. But you're not wealthy, so you're heading back to that cramped room in the Subura. Dinner is simple: bread, cheese, maybe some olives. You don't have a kitchen, remember? No stove, no fireplace. Cooking fires in wooden apartment buildings are how half of Rome burns down. So you eat cold food or buy something hot from a street vendor. If you want a real meal, you go to a tavern. These places have a bad reputation: gambling, prostitution, fights. Respectable people don't eat at taverns, but half the city eats there anyway because they don't have a choice. As the sun sets, Rome changes. The streets get dangerous. There's no street lighting, no police force patrolling neighborhoods. The vigiles, Rome's fire brigade, are out there, but they're focused on fires, not crime. If you're smart, you stay inside after dark. If you have to go out, you bring friends, and maybe a torch, and definitely a weapon. Muggings are common, so are murders. Bodies turn up in the Tiber all the time. The rich travel in litters, carried by slaves, with armed guards walking alongside. The poor take their chances. Meanwhile, those delivery carts we mentioned earlier, they're flooding the streets now. Oxen pulling wagons loaded with grain, wine, building materials. The noise is constant. Wheels on stone, drivers shouting, animals braying. Roman poets complained about it constantly, said you couldn't sleep in Rome even if you wanted to. So that was 24 hours in ancient Rome. Not the marble temples and triumphal arches. The real city. Crowded, loud, dangerous, exciting, filthy, magnificent. 1.2 million people somehow making it work in a city that had aqueducts and sewers, but also human waste in the streets. Public baths where everyone bathed together, and insul where families of 6 shared a single room. Free grain for the poor, and gladiators dying for entertainment. Rome invented urban living on this scale. And yeah, they made mistakes. Fire codes ignored, crime out of control, wealth inequality that would make your head spin. But they also figured out how to feed 1 million people, how to give them water, entertainment, a sense of belonging to something larger. 2,000 years later, we're still using their blueprint. Thanks for watching Step into History. Creating these reconstructions takes an enormous amount of research and time. If you want to see more ancient cities brought back to life, hit subscribe and drop a comment. What city should we reconstruct next?